Good evening. Welcome to Praying Together. I'm Vern Haskell, and I'm already beginning to think about the crucifixion. Now, I know Good Friday is about a week and a half away, but preparation spiritually and in terms of preaching and teaching requires that we get a little bit ahead. Let's talk about Pontius Pilate tonight. He is one of the more dubious figures in this story. There are ways that he appears to have been a good man. He recognized the innocence of Jesus. He also recognized the jealousy of the Jews. And he did not want Jesus to be executed. He really wanted the people to choose Barabbas as the one who would be spared as part of their tradition. And yet, when goaded by some of the Jewish leaders, the people chose Barabbas over Jesus. He also did not stand up to them. I want to look at one of the fine points of the story, where in 3 different languages, Pilate had it put on the cross of Jesus that he was king of the Jews. The leaders were quite outraged by this. But basically, Pilate said, I have written what I have written, as if he was making one final message to the Jewish leaders. I know what you're up to. I may not have stopped you, but I want you to be aware that you're going to get a little jab and people are going to get a reminder of what they're doing here. Well, how does that leave Pilate in our eyes? Most people have viewed him as a coward, and I could certainly understand that. At the same time, I see Pilate as a man who wanted to do what was right, but was in a very awkward position. A rebellion by the Jews could put his own position as a ruling Roman in jeopardy, and so he took a rather safe route. I wonder how many of us may be tempted, at least, to be like Pontius Pilate, in the sense that we posture ourselves appropriately, but maybe don't always take that firm stand for Jesus. Think about it during the season. Think about your walk with the Lord. Think about your testimony. Are you truly standing up for Jesus? Gracious Lord, this evening there are a lot of people who are doubtlessly finer people than Pontius Pilate, who yet have perhaps failed to really stand up fully and say, I believe that Jesus is Lord, and I'm willing to die for that. We admire those who have, and we kind of frown on those who haven't. As you know, Lord, from the time I was a young pastor, I've had people ask me, how do I know what my performance would be like without actually being at that point of having a gun pointed at my head and the ultimatum being given? As a young pastor, I said, I think the best assurance we can have is to check out how we're doing on the smaller tests that come along. If consistently we are standing up for Jesus, then I suspect the grace and power will be there at the crucial moment. If that is not our pattern, we might be naive to think that we will suddenly summon all of this spiritual energy at the moment of truth. A lot of years later, Lord, I don't have a better answer than that. And I'm asking myself the same question I'm asking everyone else tonight. Am I truly standing for you, for the values that you have placed within me? Right now, Lord, in all honesty, we're at a point where it's becoming very challenging to make a clear stand for you without offending even many others who call themselves by your name, without drawing up the positions, Lord. Help me within my soul to know that I want to do it your way. And when it becomes unpopular, even with the religious crowd, help me to be willing to say, I stand with Jesus. And in my heart and mind, I believe this is what that means. Lord, I pray this in your name. Amen. Well, might have left you hanging a little. Big challenge. Think about it and pray about it.